What's good, people? Welcome to another video on the channel. Welcome to another wheelspin drift build video. So, obviously, you guys know what's happening here. But if you don't know what's happening here, that means you're new to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe. Helps a lot. Trying to get to a goal of 400,000 before the end of this year. So hopefully we can reach that with your guys' help. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, if you're new here, you don't know what's going on. Basically, there's a set of wheel spins in this game. And the way this works is I spin them. Whatever car I get, it'll be completely random. I have to build that for drifting. Now, I'll end up spinning the wheel spins again if I do a normal wheel spin, or if I do a super wheel spin. The budget is also set by the wheel spins, because why not? Why wouldn't it be? Now, the only problem is now that they've nerfed some of the wheel spins. So now, instead of getting, I think the lowest amount of price that you could get before was like 5k, was it? Or like 10k? I can't remember exactly what it was. But now it can go down all the way down to 1,000 credits. So I don't know what is going to happen if I end up getting 1,000 credits. Because I have no idea if I'm going to be able to build anything with 1,000 credits. So, we'll see. Let's just go to the super wheel spin. If I get multiple cars, then the car that's the furthest to the left will be the one that I'll end up using. And then, you know, the rest of it is going to be the budget for the build. So, hopefully we get something decent. Because it'll make it so much more fun. I can't drift a yellow sundress game. Come on. Work with me here, please. Please make it so I get a car. I don't want to be going around spinning these forever. Please. Please. Give me something I can slide. It was so close. I almost got an S14. It's so close. Come on, game. A BMW M1. Okay. We could work with a BMW M1 and pretty much an unlimited budget at that as well. So 265 grand is going to be way more than what I need to be able to build this thing. But, yeah, BMW M1. I mean, I already own one of these things. I could sell it, but I'm obviously going to add it to my garage because I have to buy, or I have to keep one of these things completely stock. Because I don't know if I have modified or tuned the other one that I have here. No, I haven't driven it. So I pretty much have two fresh ones here. That's fine. I pretty much, like I said, have an unlimited budget to build this thing. So BMW M1 is an absolutely iconic car with its V12. It sounds fantastic. It looks like it's from the future. Well, back then it looked like it was from the future. It's a beautiful car. It's so good looking. Incredibly iconic. Sounds great. So I think the engine is staying in this thing. I don't want to engine swap it. I think it's going to stay in this car. It's really quick too, for what it is. For it being something really old. It's very quick. Now again, this is going to be a drift build, so I mean, I don't really care how fast this thing actually is. But what I do care is how it drives. So again, like I said, since I have pretty much an unlimited amount of credits, I can build this thing to pretty much the way I want to. So what I'm going to do with this car is I'm going to keep it rear-wheel drive. I'm going to keep the engine that's in it now. However, everything else I'm going to be working around making it so it has a good amount of grip, as well as sort of modernizing it a little bit. So again, I think with the tires, I'm going to go with the drift tire compound because I think I'm going to be able to squeeze out quite a decent amount of power out of this thing. 205 tires are way too thin. For this thing, I think I'm going to be able to put down quite a significant amount of power with this thing. I think 255s would probably be more than enough for it. And then for the rear, 295s maybe. I mean, I think I'll probably go back to the tires and address those later on. I really do hope we have drift suspension on this, or else it's going to be a bit of a struggle to slide this thing. Now for the wheels, I'm actually thinking, what sort of wheels could I actually put on this thing to make it look like it's more modern, but then also not completely ruin the whole classic look. I think some sort of set of rotor forms would probably suit this thing quite nicely. Like, even these don't even look that bad. Or these rotor form wheels. Like I said, some rotor forms do suit some of the cars more. I think this is probably one of those cars where I think either a set of black wheels would probably do it quite nicely. I don't know. But these ones here I kind of like, these multi-spoke wheels. They do still sort of have like that BMW vibe as well with the multi-spoke wheels. 16 inch. We're going to go with something bigger for this. We'll do 18s on the front and rear, and we'll see what that looks like as well. Yeah, I'm going to keep the standard engine in this thing. However, I will end up... I was kind of expecting to supercharge this thing, but I guess twin turbo would work as well. keeping it rear-wheel drive, so I'm not going to even touch that. Everything else, like I said, I'm going to just pretty much give it as much power as I possibly can, whilst also keeping this engine in it. Off-road diff, because that's just going to lock it automatically. Better brakes, obviously. Drift suspension brings it nice and low. It's actually not even that bad of a fitment. I thought it was going to be a little bit worse than what it is looking like now, but it's not too bad. I don't think I can lower this anymore, but I think we can work with this. I think I can do quite a lot with this thing. So let's see. Oh my god. So it goes from what's that red line? 5 and a bit? Almost 6k RPM to 9? That, I mean, I'm turning this thing into a proper race car pretty much, especially with keeping this engine in it. Okay, and then that, and then this, the final piece brings this thing up to 613 horsepower, 654 newton meters of torque, and it brings our weight down to 1110, which is pretty interesting. Now it's a 4-liter as well. This should be quite fun. It should be quite fun. Bring this all the way up at the S1 as well. It should be very, very fun to drive. Everything else I'm gonna have to adjust, I guess, once I get on the actual bit of road itself. I'm gonna leave this the way it is. I can't lower it anymore. I can't even lower it anymore. As for the design of this thing, I do love this design. Let's just have a look, right? Let's just have a look. Have anybody made, or has anybody made? Yeah, I was gonna say like the iconic racing design for this thing, which looks kind of like this, right? With the 3 stripes, it's kind of what I was looking at. I don't know if I want to put it on, to be honest with you, because even this color that it has now, it's just iconic. It just looks so good in this color. What if I go ahead and keep this color, right? But instead of having it like this, we'll do all paint groups. I'll pick the similar color, but make it it's just slightly different. What if I make it so it's a little bit more flaky? So if I put this color on, right? I'll still select the orange. Okay, we'll do that. Make the brightness more like that. And the highlight, I'll do the same. But I'll give him more of a red tone. And it's a little bit brighter than what the old color was. And it's a little bit more reflective. Okay, now with all of this being done, I'm going to go ahead and try my best to slide this thing. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down a hill slightly, just at the top here, which is what I usually do. And I'm going to try to test this thing out just to see what it's like. See if I need to adjust anything suspension-wise. And tire pressure and all that sort of stuff. Gear ratios and all that. So let's just have a look. It sounds so raspy. Okay, very interesting. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, after testing this thing out a little bit, my god, the balance is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. The front end is nice and twitchy. It like pulls me into whatever direction I want, whenever I want. So this is going to be hard to spin out in, which means I can keep a lot of angle and a lot of speed for some of these corners, and I can get a good amount of points. I think I will be lacking a little bit of power with it only having about 600 horsepower. Especially for some of these like longer corners, I think this is going to be struggling a tiny bit. It's pushing me sort of closer to the inside, so I think adjusting slightly. Yeah, I think I might need to adjust camber and stuff like that a little bit more. I want to make it so it slides a little bit easier. I think these tires have too much grip right now for the amount of power this is pushing out. So again, front end very, very twitchy, lots of grip. I need more speed though. If I want to like be able to take these corners the way I feel like it, I think I should build this thing so it's got slightly less grip. Because right now it somehow feels just like an all-wheel drive car. Like I go into a corner and full throttle it all the way around the corner, and it just wants to go fully all the way around it very, very quickly. It's unreal for that though. It's very, very good for having loads of grip. I think this could be a very, very good, like, actual race car in this game. I think if you build this thing, you know, with the Forza Aero, and as ugly as it is, and you give it some good tires, this thing would probably grip so well. It's just the balance of it that just takes me back. It's just so good. Even the gear ratios, the way I set them up, it's not really that crazy. I just messed around with the final drive a little bit just so I could use one of these gears to sort of go around the longer corners. Fourth gear is the best for that. Right now, as you can see, I'm still kind of struggling to get the back to spin, or the back wheels to spin a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and either reduce the tire width. Yeah, I'm going to do something, because it's just, it feels like it has too much grip. I feel like if I wasn't trying to slide this thing, I could probably drive it around that whole area just without doing anything. Like, without sliding. I think I could do it. So it's either the wheels are too thick, right? Which I could do with reducing that. When we're at 295s on the back, if I do this, it's going to come down quite a bit. Or I could just go ahead and change my tire compound. I could probably just give it, I don't know. Give it some sports tires, maybe? Here, this is what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to do that and that. Both for the front and the rear. So it should be a little bit easier now to send this thing sideways. I think this should be a little better. I think I'm also going to adjust camber on it slightly. So it should be a little better to slide now. Just a little bit. Okay, now the big difference now, I think, is going to be my gear ratios. Oh, sorry, not difference. Okay, now the big thing now, I think, is going to be my gear ratios. And my gear ratio is going to be a little messed up because... Oh, it's better. It's definitely better. Oh man, I can even use fifth. Slightly use fifth. It's so much better. Okay, this is a much better combo than putting on the drift tires. The drift tires just had way too much grip for this thing. Significantly nicer to drive now. Especially as a drift, but like I said, it just, the way it was built before, it literally felt like an all-wheel drive car. Where you just have so much grip, you just go to a corner and it's so fast. Where in some stages it literally felt like if I wasn't trying to send it sideways, I could probably just, you know, drive it normally around this whole section. Fourth actually isn't still too bad. I feel like it's usable. Okay. Still well balanced. The front end is still, it's a little less twitchy now. Has slightly less grip, but it's still there. It still doesn't feel like I'm gonna end up spinning out anytime soon with it. But I can actually use my handbrake as well, and it'll slide instead of slowing down fully. The lateral grip with it is definitely changed quite a lot. And you'll probably be able to see it in the points as well, because I get to keep it sideways a little bit more than what I was able to do before. Even though for some of these corners I probably should have gone a tiny bit faster here, but I am kind of utilizing my handbrake a little bit just to see and test pretty much anything and everything out with this guy. But it is rock solid. It feels great to drive. I absolutely love the balance of this thing, man. It's just so precise. Super smooth to drive with this build. See here, again, instead of going off-road there, I probably should have just had slightly less angle. I tried to sort of gain a little bit more speed. because right now I'm suffering from, you know, not having enough speed, which is kind of what I did slightly earlier in the previous corner with the bend, because it was just a nice long bend where I could have, like I said, tried to gain a little bit more speed instead of going off-road. See, what I like about these builds is, like, there's a lot of the time throttle control is needed. But because it's slightly lower in horsepower, I mean, 600 horsepower isn't really a massive amount, especially if you think about it in terms of some of the drift cars in this game, you know, most of the stuff being around 1,000 horsepower. Yes, you can have really low horsepower cars, and you can get them to go drive around. They do very well. You can get points, and they handle very well. But if you're building something that I can also, you know, get a little bit of speed with, which is kind of what I want. I don't really want to do super slow drifting. Throttle control is a little less important for lower horsepower cars, because you could just keep your foot planted a lot of the time, and you'll be able to get a lot of points, and you'll be able to make it around pretty much any corner you want. See, like right here, I'm using my steering to go around that corner. I still haven't lifted. Now I've lifted, because I had to slow down so I wouldn't crash into the barrier. But like I said, you could just keep your foot planted the entire way for some of these, and it feels normal for it. Whereas if you do that with something that has like 1,200-1,300 horsepower, you know, you gotta kind of struggle a little bit. That was very weird. I felt like my car just slowed down fully there. Anyway, this was the BMW M1. That was a very fun run with this thing. I tried to build this thing as much as I possibly could to get it to be as precise as possible. I think just the way this thing drives right now is beautiful. Like I said, the whole setup on this car is crazy because of it being such a well-balanced car. And it just feels like if you're driving a Ferrari 458 or something like that, you know, like any other mid-engine car, it just feels like that, and it feels great to drive because of the way it is now. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you everybody for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. We got a very interesting car as our drift build, and I'm kind of happy that we got like an unlimited budget, because sometimes we get messed up, we get screwed over, we get something stupid when it comes to a budget. But I guess in today's video we got kind of lucky. Anyway, that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, where I'm going to try something else.